Imagine being 36 and having your face on every news channel from Moscow to Lagos. Not for dropping a song or launching a product, but for flipping a government, fighting off jihadists, and telling world powers to get lost. That's not fiction. That's Ibrahim Traoré, the soldier president of Burkina Faso and the youngest head of state alive in 2025. When he took power in 2022, people laughed. Another African coup, they said. He'll be gone in a year, they said. Fast forward to today. He's not just in charge. He's reshaping West Africa's power map and calling out everyone from the IMF to former colonizers. Now, is he perfect? Hell no. But here's the truth. While most politicians talk, Traoré moves. While others beg for aid, he builds alliances. While most leaders age into weakness, he's getting sharper, bolder, and harder to ignore. Let's talk about what he walked into. When Traoré took over half of Burkina Faso was either controlled or threatened by jihadist insurgents. More than 2 million people were displaced. Aid wasn't reaching them. Schools were abandoned. Roads turned into battlegrounds. But by 2024 and 2025, something changed. Entire regions in the north and east were reclaimed. Aid and reconstruction began flowing, not through the usual Western channels, but through local leaders and new partners from Russia, Turkey, and China. He wasn't begging, he was bargaining. And in 2025, Traoré made 3 moves that made the world snap to attention. First, he joined forces with Mali and Niger to officially form the Alliance of Sahel States. Not a club, a confederation, shared armies, shared currency incoming, joint control of gold, uranium, and trade, and a middle finger to ECOWAS and France. Second, he shocked the world by flying to Moscow. There, he walked side by side with Vladimir Putin, signed a 5-year defense pact, and secured a deal to build Burkina Faso's first military drone factory. People screamed neo-colonialism. Traoré replied, cooperation without chains. Third, he expanded his game. In 2025 alone, he secured $700 million in infrastructure projects with Turkey, solar irrigation, medical universities, and trade networks that cut out the dollar. China jumped in too, building a 400-kilometer railway in exchange for rare earth minerals. And the BRICS nations? They gave Burkina Faso a seat at the table. So what's the play? Power realignment. No more waiting on Western promises. No more aid packages with strings. Traoré is building a new axis, from Moscow to Ouagadougou. And he's not just thinking about guns and roads. In early 2025, he launched Brigades of Patriotism, a national movement training over 120,000 youth in agriculture, military discipline, and civic education. Critics call it indoctrination. He calls it rebuilding from within. But here's the catch. There's still no real election date. He promised civilian rule by 2024. Now it's 2025. Still no roadmap. When asked, he doesn't flinch. We are not handing power back to those who will sell it to the highest bidder. He's not trying to win fans in Washington. He's trying to fix what others ignored. And despite press crackdowns and global criticism, the people? They still back him, especially in the rural zones where food is finally available, schools reopened, and jihadists pushed back. They say, at least this man fights. The others watched us burn. And now he's going global, not with boring summits, but with bold moves. Holograms at youth conferences, AES military uniforms inspired by Pan-African legends, TikToks where he's called Sankara 3.0. He's not just leading a country, he's branding a new kind of power, one that doesn't apologize, one that doesn't ask for permission, one that flips the table instead of asking for a seat. So what does Ibrahim Traoré teach us? You don't need to be perfect. You need to be committed. You don't need everyone's approval. You need a clear mission. And when the world ignores your pain, make them pay attention. Traoré is not the best man, but he's a man made for a broken system, built from chaos, sharpened by urgency, and armed with something most leaders lack: conviction. This isn't about agreeing with everything he does. This is about understanding what happens when someone finally says, enough. Burkina Faso isn't kneeling anymore. Neither should you. In Traoré's voice, like this video and subscribe to my channel.